Hello. So this is your World Wrestling Federation Superstars January the 18th, 1992 review. And I'm going to do this as if I was in 1992, which would be a bit weird because I was 17 at that point in time. So you've got to imagine me with no facial hair, really short hair, and, well, full of neuroses because I got that from my father. I'm not saying who that is, but maybe one day I'll talk about him, but not right now, because this is about superstars. So this show, I watched on YouTube, this show was the day before the World Wrestling Federation's first live pay-per-view event of 1992, which of course was the World Wrestling Federation Royal Rumble. So I will go through the matches. I'll give you my opinion on the matches. And then obviously I'll run down the card for the Rumble. But I'm going to do it not like me, but like my alter ego. Well, J. B. Well, that was a strange Superstars. The first match. I'm not going to do it in an American accent because that's ridiculous. So, the first match was former World Wrestling Federation partner of the Powers of Pain, the Barbarian, taking on the former World Wrestling Federation champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage. The ending came when the Barbarian bizarrely decided to jump off the top rope and obviously didn't get the job done. Randy Savage with the beautiful elbow from the top rope, and 3 seconds later, you have your winner, the Macho Man Randy Savage. The next match was B.A. Dalton, who was a big boy, and he took on the former $1 Million champion in Virgil. And Virgil won with what looked like a modified $1 Million Dream. It didn't seem exactly like the $1 Million Dream, but yeah, Virgil won. The next match was a tag team match, and it was the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags, taking on Dale Wolf and Robert Taylor. I'm not entirely sure if Dale Wolf actually got in this match, because it looked like Taylor just got beat up for like the whole match. But they did the armpit move. It's just like horrible. But the winner was, obviously, Knobbs and Sags. And they get the win. The next match was Scott Bazo versus the Berserker. Huss! 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 And obviously the Berserker won, but he won by count out, which is like the weirdest win. Weird. I can't even say it because it was that weird. Weirdest count out win I've ever seen. Basically, the Berserker threw Scott Bazo over the top rope as if he was in the Rumble, and the referee counted 10. It was weird. I've seen some strange wins, but that's up there. And then the main event in the ring was, trust me, Jake the Snake Roberts taking on Sean Spencer. And luckily for Sean, it was short and painful as Jake Roberts hit the DDT and then covered him like really lackadaisical, just 1, 2, 3 really. Didn't even grab the leg. What's that about? But yeah, Jake got the victory. The question do I have is why? But yeah, so that was the superstars. There wasn't really anything to write home about, but obviously it was a TV show that I had to watch, and it was the night before the Rumble, and so obviously the majority of the show was basically them hyping the Rumble up and Perfect at every opportunity saying that Ric Flair would win the World Wrestling Federation Championship at the Royal Rumble. We shall see. So, the card for the Royal Rumble. So there are 3 title matches. So I will talk about the non-title matches first. So the non-title matches, there is a tag team match. The New Foundation, which is Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, taking on the Orient Express. Yep, so that will be a good match. Or should be. Owen at this point was pretty new to the WWF. I think he'd been there like 6 months, maybe longer, maybe short. I'm not entirely sure. So they put him in with Anvil. It was a good team, and obviously a few years later it would revive. But yeah, it was a good starting ground for Owen at that point. Was another tag team match as well. Lots of tag team matches on this show. Would be the Bushwhackers, and they'll be taking on the Beverly Brothers. So, yeah. Not really much to say about that, really. The Bushwhackers are the Bushwhackers, and you know what you're going to get with them. Just fun. They're a fun team to watch. The Beverly Brothers were not brothers, by the way. Just like to point that out. And think about the name, the Beverly Brothers. I think it is a take on the Everly Brothers, the very, very good pop combo from the 1960s. Because they weren't brothers either. So there we are. Yeah, pop knowledge there for you, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that was one of the matches. And then we get on to the 3 title matches. So the first one is Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, whatever you want to call them, defending the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships against the Natural Disasters, which is Earthquake and Typhoon. In the Superstar show, obviously they do pre-recorded comments, and there was one bit where Hawk said to the camera, "You know what you should do, the Natural Disasters? You should eat more salad." Okay. Interesting comment there from Hawk. Indeed. The next match was the newly announced match for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. As I said on previous videos, the Mountie won the Intercontinental title a couple of days earlier, and he was now going to defend the title against the number 1 contender, Rowdy Roddy Piper. And Piper would go into the Royal Rumble looking to not only win the Intercontinental title, but also winning, or trying to win, the World Wrestling Federation Championship itself, and to make history by trying to battle for both titles and to win both titles on the same night. And then, obviously, the main event of the night will be the 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble for the vacant World Wrestling Federation Championship. Lots of different people are going to be in this. There's a few people that won't. Bret Hart won't be in it because he had a temperature when he lost to the Mountie of 104, and he went against Doctor's order, so he won't be in it. And Marty Jannetty won't be in it because previous week on Challenge he had a smashing time in the barbershop. So he won't be in it either. So yeah, there's a possibility of some people that I don't remember being in it. So here we are. So yeah, that is your card for the Royal Rumble. In other news, so I told you that Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton on one of my previous videos won the WCW World Tag Team Championships, and I said at the time I wasn't sure where and how, but they actually won it on a house show a couple of days earlier than that review I did of the WCW show. So yeah, they won it at a live event. Just a moving point. Sometimes I'm gonna like talk about the history of. So WCW became sort of WCW in '88. They didn't really split from the end. They sort of split from the end of '91, but they probably didn't split until like '93. So some of their titles were still there, some of them weren't. But yeah, WCW tag titles were spawned off the NWA World Tag Team titles. So yeah, so at that point, I think only about 3 or 4 other teams had been known as the WCW Tag Team Champions. But yeah, so that's where that title came from. But yeah, so there we are. That is your review for the superstars, and obviously now this would be classed as a go home show for the Rumble, like a Raw or SmackDown would be right now. But yeah, so that was, there you are, that's your review. Not really much else to say. But yeah, really. I will be hopefully showing and reviewing the Royal Rumble pretty soon. But yeah, there we are. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as The Undertaker said on Superstars, 29 souls have graves, but only one